it's me, your friendly neighborhood Bibliothecary Morgan. We're continuing our read-through of in-game Codex entries from the first 3 Dragon Age games in preparation for Dragon Age of the Veilguard coming out at the end of October. Today, we're reading the History of Ferelden, as written by Sister Patrine in her books Ferelden, Folklore and History. So, without further ado, grab your cuppa, make yourself comfortable, and let's start reading. History of Ferelden by Sister Patrine. Ferelden, Folklore and History. Chapter 1. Ferelden, as we think of it now, did not exist before the Exalted Age. Instead, the valley was divided up into dozens of old Alamari clans. They warred constantly with one another over land, honor, the allegiance of the freeholders, and, on one notable occasion, the name given to a favorite Mabari. And then, in the 33rd year of the Exalted Age, Calenhad Theron became Terran of Denerim, and everything changed. Most of what we know about the founding of our nation comes from old songs that the bards passed down through the ages. The songs are filled with wild exaggerations and outright lies, but this hardly differs from the scholarly papers of some of my contemporaries. There is no agreement among poets or scholars on how he did it, but Calenhad gained the support of the Circle of Magi, and they crafted for him a suit of silvery white armor that, by all accounts, repelled both arrow and blade. Calenhad led his army across the valley and captured Redcliffe, one of only 3 men who ever successfully laid siege to that fortress, and presented himself to the bands of the Landsmeet as their king. The poets tell us that every lord knelt before Calenhad without question. The fact that he attended the Landsmeet surrounded by ash warriors and loyal mages of the Circle is generally omitted from the ballads, however. From Calenhad came the line of Theron kings and queens who reigned, uninterrupted, until the 44th year of the Blessed Age, when the Orlesian invasion came. The rightful king was forced to flee Denerim, and for 70 years, a puppet sat upon the throne. Chapter 2. The occupation was a dark blot on Ferelden's history. Our people, who from time immemorial valued their freedom over all else, were forced to bow to Orlesian rule. The Empire declared our elves property and sold them like cattle. Chevaliers routinely plundered freeholds of coin, food, and even women and children, and excused it as taxation. And for 70 years, no landsmeets were held, for the imperial throne had declared our ancient laws a form of treason. King Brandel was one of those who escaped. He tried to organize the other fugitive lords to retake their land, but Brandel was neither clever nor persuasive, and the nobles preferred to take their chances alone. Ferelden might still be little more than a territory of the Empire were it not for the fact that his daughter had all the charisma that her royal father lacked. The rebel queen's rule began with a midnight attack on the imperial armory at Lothering. It was swift and successful, and with their pilfered arms the rebels began a campaign against the Orlesians in earnest. The turning point of the war came when a young freeholder joined the queen's army. The lad, Logain MacTair, possessed a remarkable talent for strategy, and quickly became the favorite advisor of young Prince Merrick. The queen finally died at the hands of Orlesian sympathizers anxious to curry favor with their painted masters, and Merrick took her place as the leader of the rebellion. Logain became Merrick's right hand. Merrick and Logain led the rebels in a new campaign against their Orlesian oppressors, culminating in the Battle of River Dane, where the last Chevaliers in Denerim were crushed. With the capital once more in the hands of Fereldans, the battle to free our people was finally over, but the battle to rebuild what had been lost had only just begun. That was the History of Ferelden by Sister Patrine. Thanks so much for joining me, and until next time, I'll catch you later. But be sure to come back and visit the Bibliothecary.